Hello all. In this video, we are going to see the simple example for class, method and how do we create an object in Java. Okay, it's been a long time. I am posting the another video here. In the previous video in my channel, I have posted how to get the input from the user using scanner and buffer reader and how to initialize the new project in Java in Eclipse. Every video will be posted. From now on, you will get the very regular update from my channels. Okay, so let's move on to the concept. Actually, in the previous video, we have created the classes with the main methods. So, we have everything we have done in the main method. Every operation I have input and output operation I have completed into the main method only. That means in the public static void main only. But here I am going to do in the user defined class. That means here I am going to just going to create. I have created the class name called HELLOR. Hello. Okay. So in this hello, I am going to create another block which will be the same block name called same as a class name. I am going to create another block. This particular block we can call it as constructor. Constructor means whenever the class is created in our Java, we have automatically another set of block will be created together with the class. It will be always going to execute. Sometime we need to execute some block of code together with the class as a primary priority. So we have to create the constructor. Okay, so in this time, this block will be very useful for us. So only this constructor will be the same name as a particular class name. So whenever the class, I can call the class through object, automatically this constructor block also will be going to execute. So I can implement any kind of logic to instance my class with the constructor. Okay, here we can pass the parameter also. Initially, I am going to print something here. So I am going to print this is default constructor. So this is default constructor. Default constructor means this constructor will not having any other parameter. When the constructor doesn't have any parameter, we can state as default constructor, as well as there is another constructor will be there, parameterizer constructor. For example, I am going to pass the parameter inside the constructor. Then I am going to return it. I am going to return my particular parameter. Here you see that it will show the error. Why? Because constructor doesn't have any other return type. When you're going to make any return type in the constructor, automatically it will not going to accept. Okay, if I going to change to constructor, if I give means it will going to automatically delete my particular return type. So constructor doesn't have any return type. So we couldn't be able to use return in the constructor. So instead of that, I am going to print the particular R value. Still I didn't pass any R value here. I am just going to just set the R value here. As well as I am going to create a new method which will be the differ from the class name. That we can call it as a method. For example, instead of void, I am giving the float. Float method 1 of float a. Here, sorry, float a. So you see that here I can give return a. So you see that here I can return the value in the float. Unlike C program, we can use in Java any kind of return type here. But ensure that, for example, here I am having the argument parameter data type as a float. But here I am giving my return type as int. Automatically it will show the error. We need to typecast it. That we can delete. That I am going to explain it later in my video. But here I need to return as float. When I going to return as float, my method return type should be also float because my argument parameter, my result parameter is float. Okay, so I have to return as float. So my method return type should be also float. Okay, so this block we can consider as method. Okay, so there is a difference between method and the function. Okay, in C program or in the other programming language, we can define the function as an independent entity. That means function can define outside the main function. That means outside the main. Okay, outside the compiler checkpoint, we can define the function, and whenever it is required, we can call the function. Whenever it is required, we can call the function. That means inside the main, we can call the function. In C program also, in Python, we can directly define and we can use it. But method is a different from function. Okay, so all the features, paradigms of the function and the method are same. We can return, we can use return, we can do anything here. But only thing is for the normal method, the normal method always depend upon the class. I am going to call this method means I need to use this class functionality. Okay, so return to our program. Here I am defining totally two constructors. One will be the default constructor, another will be the parameterized constructor. So because I am going to pass the parameter argument here, parameter here. So it is a parameterized constructor. Here I am going to just give the particular method name which will be the return type of float, just one argument in float also. So totally two constructor I am having and two constructor, one particular method is having. Okay, so one more point, here I am using the constructor without any parameter, but here I am using the constructor with parameter. So I am just add one particular argument here and I am differentiating these two constructors. So it is defined as constructor overloading. We can define this as a constructor overloading. What is constructor overloading means? The name of the constructor is same. Everything, the name of the constructor is same. But I am going to differentiating the constructor with their parameter. So it is called as the constructor overloading. Okay, here I am going to just use one more method, that's it. So what I have to do here means I am going to create an object. For that object I want to use public static void main, another main class here. Okay, so here I am going to use hello h is equal to new hello of. So what is here? It means hello is a class, and then I have created the object reference for the hello as h. Now h will going to refer the hello. But how do it going to refer the hello? We need some memory space, no? So for that I am going to create a memory space. I want to just uh, going to execute all my particular functionality of class hello. So I am going to use new hello of. Okay, so what I have to do here means here for default constructor I have created one object, but I need to pass the parameter also. Either there are two different chances are there. Either we can pass the parameter here also, we can pass here the parameter means it will not show any error because I am already having another constructor with one parameter. Here already one particular parameter I have passed. If I going to pass another parameter, it will show the error. Why? Because there is no constructor with two parameters here. So only it is showing error. So for this video reference, I am creating two objects here, two reference. So I am going to create the another reference here. In this reference, I am going to just create another object name called h1. In this h1, I am going to pass the another particular argument 45. Okay, now it is completed, but it is showing something in the exclamatory mark. That means h is not used and h1 is not used. That means what means? I am referring the object h1 with hello, but I am not using the h1 for calling the object and other functionalities. That means I am using only constructor in my class. Still, I am not calling or I am not initiating any method in the class. So only in Eclipse it will show like a exclamatory mark. Okay, this doesn't matter. Either we can call the method using h or h1 also. Better, I will call the using h here. H dot. For example, when you are we have to ensure that means when you just give dot in the Eclipse in the suggestion box, it will show our method name also. You just choose the method name and then you are going to pass the particular method parameter. But here the another problem will be there. What is here the problem is here it doesn't accept the float values. Why? Because in Java, float values we can represent it as f. Okay, so we have to represent the float value as f. But here what I am done, I am just return my particular a value to the method. Okay, return means it is like an acknowledgement to the method, right? This is the final result likewise, right? So what here it doesn't going to print anything for me. It just going to return. So let's execute this. You see that this is the default constructor. It will execute. This is the default constructor first, and it is executing the R value here because R value I am passing as 45 here. But it does not execute the 3.4. I need to ensure that whether the 3.n4 is successfully returned or not. That means I need to print my return value. For that, you can use in Java like this. Here you see that I am going to just print my return parameter here, it is printing. So this is the way we can use the constructor and method in Java. Okay, so what in the overall constructor is a block which will be created together with a class which we can use whenever we are creating the object. We can also use the constructor for a block for our logical purpose. As well as method is a separate entity which is always dependable for the class, in which we can use it as a function inside the class, but we can call it as a method in Java. Okay, so we can call the method using object name dot method, and we have to pass the parameter. Okay, so this is the video I want to present here. Okay, so here from now on you will receive the regular update. So please subscribe to our channel to support and grow. If you need any kind of explanation or if you have any suggestion to post any kind of videos also, you can post it into the comment. I will update in the next videos also. Okay, thank you.